do today. We're gonna learn and play. Okay. Sing a song and pray. That's right. God really loves us. God really, really cares about you, me, our families. That's right. God's always right there. Woo! Let me fix my curls. You've tuned into Calis World. That's right, boys and girls. Welcome to Calis World. Hey, friends. It's your pal, Callie. My friend has been going to something called Invention Camp. And it looked like so much fun that I decided to go with her today. And it just so happens to be Dress Up Like Your Favorite Inventor Day at the camp. I really don't know who my favorite inventor was. I really don't know any inventors. So I had to wonder, who might my favorite inventor be? There it is! This is called a light bulb. You've probably seen one before. Sometimes people use it to show when they have an idea. A lot of people use it when they turn on the lights. But do you know who invented it? I didn't either. Turns out it was a guy named Thomas Edison. He's my new favorite inventor. He lived a long time ago, but everyone remembers him as a famous inventor. Oh, and he wore bow ties and vests. I think he could have used some Cali fashion tips. Anyway, you want to know some other fun facts about him? Here we go! Number 1. Thomas Edison was partially deaf from a very young age. That means it was harder for him to hear things. But Edison said this actually helped him to focus on his work more. Number 2. Thomas Edison's most famous invention was the light bulb. But he also invented the motion picture camera. That's the thing that first made movies. I love movies. I'm sure glad he came up with that one. Number 3. Thomas Edison once said this about inventions that didn't go right the first time, or the second time, or the 100th time. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Wowzers! That means he kept trying and trying without giving up. That is a good example for us to follow when we're making our own inventions. Knowing whose example to follow is a really big deal. Like when I see the way my mom and dad talk to other people, it helps me sometimes to know how I should talk to people because I'm following their lead. Also, when I am in a spot where I don't know what to do, like because maybe I've never been there before, I always think about the people I trust. I think about what they have done, or what they would do if they were in my shoes. Knowing who to follow is not always easy. Well, except for with one person, Jesus. Let's check out what happened when Jesus asked others to follow his lead.
Today's Bible story comes from Matthew chapter 4. Jesus was God's son and grew up in a city called Nazareth. Jesus left Nazareth to live in a seaside town called Capernaum. From that time on, Jesus began to tell everyone about God. Jesus told them to stop doing things that made God sad and to follow God instead. Jesus knew they needed to change their hearts so they could be close to God. One day, Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee. Jesus saw two brothers named Simon Peter and Andrew who were fishermen. Jesus saw them throwing a net into the sea to catch fish. Jesus called out, "Come and follow me. I will send you out to fish for people." Right away, Simon Peter and Andrew left their nets and followed Jesus. They didn't wait or ask questions. They trusted Jesus right away. Jesus kept walking and saw two more brothers named James and John. They were in a boat with their father, Zebedee, preparing to throw their nets to catch fish too. Jesus called out to them too. And guess what? Right away, they, James and John, left their boat and their father and followed Jesus. Jesus traveled all over Galilee, teaching in the synagogues where people went to worship and learn more about God. Jesus taught people all about God. People who were sick got better right away because of Jesus. Jesus also comforted people who were sad or lonely. This is the life that Simon Peter, Andrew, James, and John signed up for when they chose to follow Jesus. Telling others about God and showing people God's love and power. When Jesus called them to follow, They became Jesus' disciples and closest friends. Today, Jesus also calls us to follow and learn about God. We can listen to Jesus and do what he teaches us. We can tell others about God and show them God's love and power. We can do all of this because Jesus calls us to follow.
Those guys fishing didn't pause for a moment. They knew following Jesus would be the best thing they could do. That's because everything Jesus did and said is the best example for us to follow. We can't follow Jesus with our actual feet, like those guys in the story did. Here are some ways we can follow Jesus. Learn from the Bible, talk to God, share stories about Jesus, and show God's love to everyone. Jesus did all of that and was always calling new friends to follow him. And still today, Jesus calls us to follow. I think I just had a great idea for a new invention, one that would make Thomas Edison proud. He also would have helped out Jesus and his friends that day they decided to follow him. It will be called the Fish-O-Matic. It catches fish for you while you're gone. So when you come back, the fish are just waiting there. Pretty cool, huh? Joe doesn't like that idea. I get it, buddy. I guess I'll try again. Just like Thomas Edison, I'm not gonna give up if it doesn't work right away. And for everything else, I'm following Jesus. It's been fun learning about a famous inventor with you and learning how to really follow Jesus. Thanks for learning and growing with me. See you next time. Peace out. Let's think about cool inventions, robots and planes of all dimensions. But Jesus is greater than anything. He's a friend and savior, our hope and our king. Jesus takes tiny things and then makes real big things. Jesus takes tiny things and then makes real big things. Jesus makes the ordinary extraordinary. Jesus makes the ordinary extraordinary.